Hey, my trendies, trendsetters, and my trendy tribe. Okay, we're going to get into the story of Naziah Harris. She's 13 years old, and this story, it comes from Detroit, and it says missing Naziah Harris's relatives say they suspected AB use at her home in the past. It says no one has seen or heard from Naziah Harris for more than 6 weeks since she got off at her bus stop on Detroit's east side. The longer the search goes, the more suspicious it all seems. If she could hear me now, I would want to say to her, I love you, we love you, there's a lot of people concerned about you, said Vanessa, a relative of the girl. Each day the family gets more concerned, they'll never see 13-year-old Naziah Harris again. All that we can do with this time is hope that she is alive and she did run away, her relative said. However, she's made no contact with anyone for us to be able to even believe that that is true. Two family members spoke with Fox 2 under anonymity. We'll call them Vanessa and Trish. They're estranged from Naziah's immediate family and guardian, who she lives with on Detroit's east side. The fracturing of this family started when Vanessa and Trish suspected AB use at Naziah's home. They reported the concerns to Children's Protective Services. If I had to guess, 7 to 10 times over the course of the last 8 months, 8 months to a year, said Vanessa. But Naziah and her 16-year-old brother remained in the home under the adoptive care of their grandma, who spoke out at a press conference this week. Before she went missing on January 9th, Trish said she knew she'd be the next missing child out of Detroit, an eerie omen that came true. Fox 2 asked, do you think that there's foul play in her disappearance? I think there's something going on. There's so many different scenarios, Trish said, because there's so much dysfunction from multiple members in the family. For the first time this week, we heard Detroit's Police Chief James White say the words suspects in this case. He said suspects are being talked to and there is more to come. Multiple searches have turned up no Naziah and no evidence. This child has not reached out to anybody, Trish said. She has not logged into any social media. She has not reached out to friends, family, no one. She just basically disappeared. If you know anything that could help investigators, call Detroit police right away.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I want to just start off before I bring up Chief Jackson from Detroit Public Schools Police Department and to what brought us here today. On February 12th, we had a briefing on this missing child. Yesterday, we had a much more comprehensive and detailed meeting where he brought forth a number of different factors as to what occurred and what they have been working on. We left that meeting with some very serious concerns about Naziah's safety, and I'll bring up Chief Jackson at this time to give you an overview, and I'll be coming back up to talk about the details. Chief Jackson.
Good afternoon. Back on January 9th, we believe Miss Naziah Harris did not return home from school. She was a student at Clark Elementary. January 10th, her family went about the process of reporting her missing. We began our investigation at that point. We began working back, following through her on her last known steps, possible person she was in contact with, some of her school-age friends, gathering different information. As we began to work back through that information with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners, information that we obtained has led us to this point here. At that point, we reached out to Chief White to let him know the developments that we had, and so at that point we decided that this investigation had kind of gone past the four walls of our building, and Chief White stepped in to help us out. Chief White.
All right, thank you, Chief. So again, after our meeting yesterday, we were very, very concerned. I made the decision at that time that we will take lead on this investigation. We'll be bringing in our local, federal, state partners, a very concerned community, our Board of Police Commissioners, our civic leaders, every single person to assist us in bringing little Naziah home. That's the goal here, is to do everything we can to bring her home. We have debriefed on a number of different factors. We're hopeful that we find her well. But we can't operate on hope. We have to operate on information, investigation, and work. And that's what we're here to do today with this incredible show of force that we have at this time. I will bring up Deputy Chief Carrie Sloan to talk a little bit about some of the aspects of the investigation at this time. But I will tell you that it is still early in the investigation on our part, although DPS has done a number of different.
No one has seen or heard from Naziah Harris in more than 6 weeks since she got off at her bus stop on Detroit's east side. The longer this search goes, the more suspicious it all seems.
If she could hear me now, I would want to say to her, I love you. We love you. There's a lot of people concerned about you.
Each day, this family gets more concerned they'll never see 13-year-old Naziah Harris again.
All that we can do at this time is hope that she is alive and she did run away. However, she's made no contact with anyone for us to be able to even believe that that is true.
2 family members spoke with Fox 2 under anonymity. We'll call them Vanessa and Trish. They're estranged from Naziah's immediate family and guardian, who she lives with on Detroit's east side. The fracturing of this family started when Vanessa and Trish suspected abuse at Naziah's home. They reported the concerns to Children's Protective Services.
If I had to guess, 7 to 10 times.
Okay. Over the course of how long?
Over the course of the last 8 months to a year.
But Naziah and her 16-year-old brother remained in the home under adoptive care of their grandma, who spoke out at a press conference this week. Before she went missing on January 9th, Trish tells me she knew Naziah would be the next missing child out of Detroit.
Do you think that there was foul play in her disappearance?
I think there's something going on. I mean, it's so many different scenarios because there's so much dysfunction from multiple members in the family.
For the first time this week, we heard Detroit's Police Chief James White say the word suspects in this case. He said suspects are being talked to and there is more to come. Multiple searches have turned up no Naziah and no evidence.
This child has not reached out to anybody. She has not logged onto any social media app. She has not reached out to friends, family, no one. She just basically just disappeared.
If you have any information that could help investigators, call Detroit Police right away. Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
We do want to go live now to Detroit's west side, where police are delivering an update on the disappearance of Naziah Harris. Let's listen in.
Ready? Yeah, well, first let me start off by thanking members of the Detroit Police Department, our homicide team, our missing persons team. I also want to make sure I thank the Southeast Dive Team and the Mutual Aid Strike Teams for helping us in our efforts today. The goal, of course, is to bring some closure to the family, to identify where little Naziah is, and that's what we're here for today. You all are very familiar with this case with regards to when she came up missing, but I will highlight it. On January 9th, she was last seen at 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall. On January 10th, the family made a missing report to Detroit Public School Police Department. On February 12th, we met with DPS PD. At that time, I made a decision to take the case over. On February 13th, we got deeply engaged in the case. And our investigative efforts have led us to where we are today, searching this area based on some evidentiary information that we have identified.
Can you talk about this search today and all this coordinated effort? You've got so many agencies here.
Yeah, we've got our local, state, federal partners, the Southeast Dive Team, all at the table assisting us in this search. We've got our own dive team from Detroit Police Department here. Oakland County Sheriffs are here. Wayne County Sheriffs are here. Just a tremendous partnership and effort, all with the goal of bringing some closure to the family.
Chief, this is now the 3rd body of water, I believe, that you all have searched. Is there anything you can tell us about tips that you guys may have received that led you to this, or if this has become a recovery effort at this point?
Well, we get a lot of tips. As you can imagine, our Detroit Rewards TV has provided us a number of tips and other sources, debriefing suspects and things such as that. There is something very specific about this area that we want to take off our list, and that's why we're here today. Unfortunately, as time goes on, it does start to look more like a recovery effort. We're prayerful that that's not the case, but we know how these things unfortunately play out, and there's certain aspects of the case that I am not prepared to discuss right now. That's given us some very serious concerns that it could lean towards that way. But if anybody has any information knows where she's at or seen her, please let us know so we can investigate all aspects of it.
Chief, could you say if there's a person of interest related to the disappearance?
Well, we have a number of people that we are talking to and looking at. I don't want to classify them as a person of interest yet. We're very concerned about some of the things that they may know about the case, so we're going to be making sure that we debrief them and talk through everything that they know, when the last time she was seen, who the last people she was with. And the case is ongoing. I mean, they have worked tirelessly on this case, 24 hours. We've got investigators under our homicide unit, under our missing persons unit, that have been working tirelessly on this case. So there's a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of information and quite a bit of evidence to go through to make a determination on where she's at and who's responsible for it.
We did see the dive team, I believe, got out of the water a little bit ago. Is the search still ongoing for today at this location?
Yeah, it's going to be ongoing for a number of hours. It's a very complex process that they use. They basically take the body of water and grid it out, and then they go through certain parts of the grid, eliminating that grid as where she could be, and that's scheduled to go on throughout the day.
Are there any particular challenges that you guys have been running into while you've been in Clinton Township and Rouge River and here today?
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness the weather's cooperated, so they're not dealing with ice and things such as that, at least on the top levels. But they've run into some literal log jams and things such as that they're working through. And as you can imagine, in this type of environment with the water and debris and things like that, but they're professionals, and this is what they train for, and this is what they do. So we don't anticipate anything not being checked as a result of some problems. But we'll certainly update you if something changes.
Appreciating you may not be able to talk directly about what led you to here in Clinton Township. Can you talk about the timing? Meaning, was this relatively new information and you guys are acting on it? Just wondering about the time lapse and the why now the past week, I guess, if you're able to share.
Yeah, I mean, as you can imagine, I mean, you've been around a long time. There's a very complex part of the way we investigate cases, and new information is timed out based on what we need to do at a particular time. And I mean, it's an ever-evolving process, so it wouldn't really serve me any benefit to give you the interior workings of the investigative process, other than to say that this is a very important area for us to investigate. Now is the time for us to get here and investigate it, and we're going to continue until we bring her home one way or the other. All right, thank you very much.
I've been taking my time, taking all of your time, taking all of your